Tesla Autopilot, as well as the more advanced full self-driving, are different from all competing self-driving systems in one unique way. They rely only on cameras to perceive the world around them. That means no radar, no LiDAR, and a lot of potential weak points. For example, what happens when you point a camera directly at the sun? What if it's just too dark outside, or what if you have a dirty windshield? That's exactly what we're testing in this video. We've engaged Autopilot while driving through country roads, and this one doesn't even have a middle line, which is usually quite the challenge for Autopilot. And let me remind you that you have to pay attention all the time, especially when going straight into the setting sun with Autopilot today. A little bit different lighting conditions than we're used to on our drives. And maybe later we'll even do an evening drive. So keep subscribed to the channel for that. The shining sun doesn't seem to spook Autopilot too much. It's keeping a safe distance from the leading car. It's jerking the steering wheel a little bit. Today we're using a little bit of a wider point of view of the camera, so definitely let us know in the comments if you like that. And right now we had to disengage because of the car going our way. This is a very narrow road for going two ways. You can see that two cars barely fit next to each other on this road. And of course, it's a road without a middle line, which Autopilot is not handling very well. And we've had a few serious disengagements right now that would have resulted in a really bad accident if we didn't intervene. Green light that you can really see well on the screen, but of course Autopilot doesn't react to lights yet, even though it does see them. Here we have to yield to the cars on the main street, which Autopilot didn't, and right now we had to disengage again because it looked like it was going to nick the pavement on the right. We're signaling right. That was a manual signal. And of course, like I taught you in our previous videos, Autopilot can't really turn yet. Doesn't want to seem to engage because this is an unmarked road. If you can't see the gray steering wheel here on the screen, Autopilot cannot be engaged. And just like we're waiting for an opportunity to engage Autopilot, the whole world is waiting for the release of Tesla's full self-driving, much more advanced version of what we're testing today, which is only available in the USA and Canada, where it can handle everything from city streets to unmarked roads. And this is a very well marked road, but without a middle line. So Autopilot is imagining the middle line pretty well here. Hopefully it doesn't run us into the car going the other way. Huge phantom braking. Well, not huge, but significant. Right after the car passed us. So that's some repeated behavior for Autopilot. In our last video, it did the exact same thing after passing a motorcyclist in the middle of the road. Braking just after. And look at that beautiful medieval Middle European scenery. Autopilot is braking for the turn. It's braking properly. And right now it's doing the turn. It would run us directly into the car going the other way. This was not good performance from Autopilot. I can tolerate it being just dumb on a road with no middle line and just going left when there's no one. But when it can clearly see and visualize the cars going our way on the screen and it still wants to run straight into them, that's really strange behavior. Going through a village on Autopilot again. We're on the main road here. There's some really faint middle line, which is not really a line, it's just a seam in the road's construction. There goes a pedestrian with a dog. And yeah, this is pretty good performance so far. Three cars going our way, huge phantom braking. Sequentially for all three of them, it was brake after brake after brake. Classic Autopilot. And here comes the middle line to save Autopilot's ass. It's interesting that it knows the speed limit is 90 here, yet is still going 54, which is what we have set, 4 kilometers per hour above the speed limit. And it's approaching this roundabout, and it would not yield to this BMW.
Now get ready for some extremely dangerous behavior from Autopilot, so please do not try this at home and always drive your Tesla responsibly.
Okay, is it going to merge successfully? No. It's just doing crazy things right now. Oh my god. Yeah. Right now, going straight into the sun, you can see that Autopilot has no problems with that. At least that's one of its stronger points. And this is the classic best use case for Autopilot. Very well marked road, lines that are telling it robotically exactly what to do. And we're very comfortably going 94 right now. And this is exactly the place and time for you to just chill behind the steering wheel and, of course, be ready to take over at any time. But when you go on road trips or any long distance drives on the highway, that's where Autopilot really shines. For everything else, there's FSD. We hope we can get it as soon as the end of 2024, but most likely January 2025 or even later. The car in front of us is turning right and Autopilot is braking really harshly, slowed down all the way to 60 kilometers per hour. Right now it's speeding back up. I think it tried to be cautious, but it was definitely overly cautious for that car. And full self-driving, 12.5 in that situation would barely step on the brakes. We're approaching a village again. It should be slowing down all the way to 50, which it's doing right now. So that's a little bit too late, but at least it did it. The radar is probably going to give us a speeding ticket right now, unfortunately, but hey, you can pay for our speeding ticket on Patreon if you want.
You'll find the link for that in the video description, but I'll be happy even if you just give us a quick like.
There's some nice European architecture, green lights, beautifully visualized on the screen. Going through the village at steady 54 kilometers an hour, which is technically illegal. The limit is 50 here, but we have set Autopilot ourselves to go 4 above the speed limit, like I said. It's still driving really nicely today. This was super smooth. And now we have a few leading cars ahead of us. Question is it going to try to speed up? I think not. It recognized the speed limit change, but it's not speeding up, so we have to speed up manually or disengage and re-engage Autopilot. And if we engage it again after exiting the village, it will gradually, very smoothly speed up to 94 again. Now it's accelerating a little bit more, and we are on our set speed. The cars going our way didn't spook the Tesla, even this big old truck. And from now on, it's just smooth sailing.
There you go on chill.
Yeah. Total chill mode today. Once in a while, you have to apply a slight force to the steering wheel, which you can see the driver doing in today's wider perspective. And we're approaching a turn that is a little bit sharper. And the car behaved appropriately, but it could have been a little bit smoother. We have to slow down manually because otherwise we would have definitely gotten a speeding ticket. So haven't disengaged so far, and now we had to disengage, not because of safety reasons, but because of the radar. That would have definitely given us a speeding ticket. Speeding up manually again by flipping one of the small buttons on the steering wheel. And today is an episode of many time lapses, so if you appreciate how many hours I put into editing this video, then be sure to leave a like or a comment. I try to make my videos the best possible experience for my viewers. Car slowing down appropriately and following this leading car who's driving illegally by stepping across the line. Chime announced this speed limit changed again, and we have to change the speed again manually. And we're driving off into the sunset.
In broad daylight, Autopilot can do so much more, like hunt cyclists, pursue vans, and even avoid wild animals. If you want to see that, just click here right now and it will take you to our most exciting video yet. I can promise you, if you continue watching, you will see some craziness, that's for sure.